So the key principle behind SMS retargeting is enabling brands to reconnect with existing and potential customers using very personalised, tailored and smart content. The major advantage of doing this, firstly, is it actually extends the conversation that the brand has with its consumers. Secondly, it enables the brand to build up a really loyal customer base. And thirdly, it improves the whole customer experience that the consumer has when they're engaging with the brand through the mobile device or through the web. Mobile retargeting can take place or take form in a variety of different ways. These include an SMS with a link embedded in it that relates to a previous product that was browsed but never purchased, or indeed an advert that is sent to someone based on a previous activity history. SMS retargeting also works really well for location-based services, and it can be shown to really improve return on investment whilst bringing down the cost of acquisition. To enable a brand to carry out SMS retargeting, it has to have the ability to track the engagement that consumers have with its website and with its mobile app. By doing this, it enables the brand to acquire real deep behavioural data that they can then start to model and put together segmentation profiles that really generate a strong customer-centric communication flow. Now you'll be familiar with the types of web-based analytics apps that are out there on the market. Now these are great because they allow a brand to see how people are engaging with their website, which products they looked at, which products they didn't look at, which they bought, how long they spent looking at each page. They also allow people to make changes on the fly, so web developers, marketeers can actually change the experience as you're on a website by tweaking it to give you either to improve the customer experience or to actually improve the end result, i.e. increase the potential purchase that someone's going to make. So by doing all this and by using web analytics, it allows the brand to really get inside the thought processes of their potential and their existing customers. And by doing this and by using this data, they can really start to target their communications in a really personalised and relevant way. Using mobile analytics then takes the ability and the campaign to another level. And what mobile analytics does very well is it enables you to bring location into the equation. So for example, using location when someone comes into a particular shopping centre or high street using something like geofencing, you can then send them a really relevant communication based upon previous browsing history to really drive footfall, to encourage them to go back into the shop. The second thing it can do is increase the overall success of your SMS marketing campaigns. Now historically, marketeers have always looked at delivery rates, then they started to look at click-through rates, but I don't think that's enough anymore. You've got to start actually looking at click-through rates and then look at what content did the customer actually look at when they were actually on your site, and what was the outcome? Did they make a purchase or did they just browse a whole host of products? However, there are concerns that people have with using SMS retargeting and mobile retargeting. The first one has to be security of data. So there's not that much knowledge out there in the general marketplace. Consumers aren't that aware of how location-based marketing programs work, how their data is used. So obviously the first thing a brand has to do is actually get the opt-in from the client. Once they've got the opt-in, they can really help themselves and help the consumer by making it really clear by how they're going to use their data. So actually being really clear and empowering the consumer with this information will build the credibility of the brand, and it will also improve the chance that the consumer will actually opt in to receive this type of communication. The second concern is the frequency of communication. So there's a really thin line between sending far too little messaging and sending far too much messaging. So if you look at the amount of messaging it takes to actually encourage a consumer to engage with you again or re-engage with you, against really bombarding messages that really have a detrimental effect and actually turn the consumer off, there's not a lot of difference between those two. So it's really easy, A, to make the customer feel unloved, B, to make the customer feel like, well, there's too much going on here, and really disengaging with the brand. The way around this is to use mobile analytics. So by using a mobile analytics program, you can start to understand how the consumer is actually engaging with your marketing messages. You can also see how they're being responded to, what people are doing once they've received these messages. And thirdly, mobile analytics programs enable you to make changes in real time. So once a campaign has gone to air, you can actually make a change as the campaign is live, depending upon the results that you're seeing, to make it as the outcome as valuable as possible. There are lots of mobile analytics tools out in the marketplace. mGage has a solution called Visualize, which enables brands to monitor how their consumers are engaging with their mobile assets. So that could be SMS messaging, that could be their mobile app, that could be a mobile website. What it enables them to do is actually attribute the success that they derive from each channel. So rather than just measuring click-through rates to an app or to a mobile website, they can actually look at the success that they've seen through each channel. So when it comes to making decisions about marketing budget, which channel works, which channel doesn't work, it puts them in a really strong position to understand the customer journey and how those customers engage with them. So to sum up, this type of analytics and SMS retargeting allows people to make really smart decisions using both historic data and future data, which doesn't depend upon platform, it doesn't depend upon advice, it's completely agnostic to the channel which the customer is engaging with.